Iran's so-called dancing missile is creating serious problems for both the United States and Israel, and the situation is getting worse, much worse. This missile, known as the Sejil 2, is not just another ballistic weapon. It represents a shift, a new kind of threat that modern defense systems are struggling to handle. And like you can see, this missile doesn't behave like a normal one. It doesn't follow a straight path. It doesn't stay predictable. Instead, it changes direction mid-air, not randomly, but deliberately. It climbs high into the atmosphere, and during re-entry, it begins to maneuver. Small shifts, controlled movement, enough to confuse tracking systems and make interception far more difficult. That's why it's being called the dancing missile. It uses solid fuel, meaning it can be launched within minutes from mobile platforms with very little warning. It can carry a warhead of up to 1,000 kilograms and travel up to 2,500 kilometers. And while no system is truly impossible to stop, this one is designed to make interception harder, slower, and more expensive. So what exactly is this technology? And more importantly, why is it being used right now? Because this isn't just about one missile. It's about how warfare itself is changing. The Sejil missile is not entirely new. Iran began developing it decades ago, with early tests reported in the late 2000s. For years, it remained mostly in the background, shown in military exercises, referenced in statements, but never used in active conflict. That has now changed, and that change matters. The Sejil is a medium-range ballistic missile with an estimated range of around 2,000 kilometers. That puts a large portion of West Asia within reach. Cities, military bases, infrastructure, all within a radius that makes it strategically significant. But range alone does not define a modern weapon. What defines it is how it behaves. And the Sejil behaves very differently from older missile systems. One of its most important features is its solid fuel propulsion. Older missiles often rely on liquid fuel, which requires time to load before launch. That process creates a window, a moment where satellites or reconnaissance systems can detect preparation and respond. Solid fuel removes that window. The missile can be stored fully fueled, it can be moved, hidden, deployed, and then launched with minimal warning. That alone makes it more survivable. But survivability is only one part of the equation. The real shift comes in the final phase of its flight. To understand why the Sejil is so difficult to stop, you need to understand how missile defense systems actually work. At their core, these systems rely on physics and prediction. When a missile is launched, radar systems detect it. This is not a normal ballistic missile. Most missiles follow a predictable arc, launch, travel, and fall toward a fixed target. But this one behaves differently. It uses something called a maneuverable re-entry vehicle. As it comes down at hypersonic speeds, it doesn't follow a straight path. It changes direction mid-air. That's why experts call it the dancing missile. Modern defense systems rely on prediction. They calculate where a missile will land and destroy it before impact. But what happens when the target keeps moving? The calculation fails. Interceptors miss. And suddenly, one missile requires multiple attempts to stop. This drains defenses fast. And there's another advantage. This missile uses solid fuel. That means faster launch, no visible preparation, mobile deployment. It can strike before defenses are even ready. This war is no longer just about land or power. It's becoming a testing ground. Across the battlefield, new technologies are being used in real time. Advanced missiles, attack drones, AI-assisted targeting. These are not future weapons anymore. They're being used right now. And whatever works here will shape the wars of tomorrow. There's a deeper issue. Defense is expensive. Each interceptor can cost millions. But if one incoming missile forces multiple interceptions, the system becomes unsustainable. This changes everything. Offense becomes cheaper. Defense becomes harder. And that imbalance is dangerous. This conflict isn't staying local. Its effects are spreading across the world. Trade routes are under pressure. Energy markets are reacting. Global security is shifting. This is no longer just a war. It's a signal that the future of warfare has already begun. The dancing missile is not just a weapon. It's a warning. Warfare is evolving fast. And the real question is, are we ready for what comes next? Now here's where things get serious. This missile doesn't just challenge defense systems. It breaks the way they work. Most modern air defense relies on prediction. Systems calculate the missile's path, then launch an interceptor to meet it at a precise point. It's a game of math.